We did it. We passed 100 subs at the close of the school year. So now that we're getting into summer, we're getting into summer vacation, or as I like to call it, coronacation. Here are 100 things for you to learn this summer and in quarantine. Hi, I'm AJ from Homeschooler Goes Public, and today I'll be giving you 100 things to learn during coronacation, quarantine, this summer, all of the above. Like I said, we passed 100 subs. It made me super happy, and I'm so glad that we've made it this far, and I know we can only go further. This was a couple days ago, but I needed some time to think of 100 things for you to learn. So these 100 things are mostly divided into 4 categories. But the thing is, there's kind of a lot of overlap between the categories, so the first category we're going to start with is music. Now, you might not think you're a musical person, but there are so many musical things you can learn. First up, the musical alphabet, or the names of the notes. This is just really important no matter what you plan on doing with music. Number 2, basic music theory. There are a lot of instruments you can learn, but here are my top suggestions. Guitar, ukulele. I started teaching myself ukulele just a couple weeks ago, and I can already play so many songs. Piano. If you have a piano or a keyboard available to you, I totally recommend learning how to play it. It's really versatile and it helps you learn a lot of other things, whether that's voice or another instrument entirely. Now, if you're interested in playing piano, I do have an online course, Play Piano Fast, and I'll link it down in the description below. I also have some tutorials of popular songs that I'll link up in the YouTube card. Next is ocarina. If you've ever heard of Legend of Zelda, the ocarina is the small instrument that they play. I just think they're super cool. I actually own 2 ocarinas and I don't know how to play them, so maybe I'll learn that in quarantine myself. Singing. If you don't feel like you're very confident in your voice, then right now is the time to get better. Beatbox. I certainly cannot beatbox, so if you can learn, good job. I seriously recommend trying your hand at writing songs. Since I wrote my first song a couple months ago, several of my friends have started writing songs themselves, and frankly, they're really good at it. The next few things are all about learning to use a DAW, or a digital audio workstation. Think GarageBand, so you can record music, produce music, and mix your music. If you try writing music and you really enjoy it, and you also like writing storylines, then I definitely recommend writing a musical. Learn how to whistle. Maybe you can already whistle, but I can't. Next up is learning how to busk. This is when you go and play your music in the streets. Learn to read sheet music. Become really good at karaoke, and then you can impress everybody when you come out of quarantine. Learn to compose your own original music. This is a lot like writing a song, except it focuses more on the actual melodies. Learn how to dance. I cannot dance for the life of me, so if you find anything that can help you, let me know, please. For most instruments, I seriously recommend learning to play the most popular chord progression in pop music, which tends to use the chords A minor, G, C, and F. It's used in so many songs. Learn how to become a musical theater kid. Musical theater kids are top notch. Become one, please. Learn how you're going to share your music. No matter what kind of music you love, there's a place where you can share it. Become better at writing lyrics. Last but not least, if I'm going to suggest you learn anything, please do this. Learn to play the kazoo. That's 25 musical things I recommend. This next category doesn't have a real name. It's kind of like making stuff and creativity and that. First up, knit. And along with that, crochet. Even if you think that's an old lady thing to do. Embroidery or cross stitch. Bake and cook. Try a new recipe. Why not learn to make food and then eat the food you made? Sounds like a great idea to me. I love food. There's so much you can make with duct tape. I'm not even gonna get into it. You can look it up. Friendship bracelets, many different kinds. Learn to paint or use chalk pastels. Personally, I love chalk pastels. Garden. Why not grow your own food if you're at home anyway? Memorize poetry. This might seem lame, but if you can come out of quarantine and start quoting Shakespeare all over the place, we're getting into the time of dandelion and daisy crowns. Why not pretend to be a 5-year-old? I do that all the time, acting like a 5-year-old. Origami. Makeup. I know almost nothing about makeup. Nail polish. Same story. Learn to sew. It's a great skill to have. Learn to draw. If you chew a lot of gum, try making a gum wrapper chain. Calligraphy or faux calligraphy. Learn to take self-portrait photos. Learn to make things out of wire, like jewelry. Learn to paint faces. Especially as you get into summer, there's so much you can do with this. Make your own clothes. I'm not very good at it, but it's still really fun, and plus you can make the clothes exactly the way you want. That pretty much wraps up the creative make stuff section. Next up is marketable and useful skills. This is a pretty broad area because there's a lot of overlap, but these are just some top suggestions. This is huge. I recommend learning how to edit videos. It's something I had to learn myself for making these videos, and there's still a lot I don't know. Learn to do voiceovers. Maybe you use those voiceover skills for those videos you just learned how to edit. Write a novel. If you'd like to know my favorite way of writing novels, I made a video about this a couple months ago. In the sphere of writing, learn to write an article. There's a very large market for writing articles, and it's a really helpful skill to have. Photography. There are plenty of stock photo sites if you're interested in selling your photos. Learn to write great essays. I made a review of a book that helped me to write better essays, and I'll link it up here in the YouTube card. Learn to Photoshop. I have zero skills in this area, but there's such a great demand for it. Figure out how to research a topic. If you aren't very good at researching, this will help you in so many ways for the rest of your life. Learn a language, how to write poetry, learn how to YouTube. This is something I've clearly been doing. Learn how to make an online course. I did this myself. If you plan on doing anything with a computer ever, learning to type faster will probably help you a lot. If you're good at making stuff, learn how to Etsy. Be a clown using your face painting skills and some other skills we will talk about later in this video. Learn how to blog. Learn a coding language like Python or Java, etc. Learn video production. This is also something I've learned in quarantine. If you're good at art, learn how to Redbubble. Learn to use Canva. This might seem silly, but I seriously recommend learning how to write a good letter. Learning to write a proper letter can make you seem way more professional. Learn about lighting, whether it's for video production or photography. Stuff relating to social media algorithms. If social media is your thing, you should probably learn about this. Learn to stop procrastinating. If you figure this out, please tell me how. Now, obviously, the best marketable skill there is learning to make the best lemonade ever. This last section is pretty random, so I kind of just labeled it as miscellaneous. These are things that will probably never be helpful ever in real life, but are pretty fun and are cool to show off. Pogo stick. Unicycle. This goes along with that clown thing I was talking about earlier. Learn to backflip and front flip. Learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube or other puzzle. Magic tricks. There are so many of these you can learn, and they're really fun to mess with people. Balloon animals. Again, the clown thing. I'm not gonna lie, they're actually really fun to make. Learn every single part of a play, like every character. I did this once for an audition. I played both sides of an awkward date scene. It was interesting. And along with that, learn a monologue. Learn to do the splits. I can't do this. Used to when I was like 8, but can't. This one is special, but it's something that's rather dear to my heart. If you're into arguing or debating, learn facts to shatter people's arguments. Just saying. Learn to become a master memer. Who doesn't want to be a master at memes? Voice impressions. It's always really cool when somebody can match a character's voice perfectly. Learn to act. If you feel like you have no acting skills whatsoever, now's the time to learn. Yoga. Throw playing cards. I know a lot of people who are really good at this, and it's pretty cool to watch. Learn to moonwalk. Again, something I cannot do. Juggle. Morse code. I'm not exactly sure when this will ever come in handy, but I'm sure you can find a way. Skateboard. Stack dice. If you've never seen this, it's pretty cool. People can put dice in a cup, shake it around upside down, and stack the dice when they remove the cup. It's a real thing. Self-defense. If you know nothing about protecting yourself physically, now is probably a good time to learn the basics. Learn lots of different accents. I'm complete trash at accents, yet I'll just switch accents randomly for funsies. I don't know why. Learn sleight of hand. Last but not least, meditation. All right, that was 100 things you can learn in quarantine, during coronacation, and just this summer break. Or any time, really. A lot of these things are just for fun, but others can be really helpful. The idea is just to come back from quarantine knowing more than you did when you went into it. You could just sit around, messing around all day, but I seriously recommend learning something new. Use this time, be productive. And thank you so much for 100 subscribers. I'm really glad that you guys like the videos and want to support this channel. If you enjoyed this video or got value, please hit that like button. And if this is your first time here on Homeschooler Goes Public, be sure to subscribe. Pop quiz. What have you learned in quarantine? Or what are you going to learn next? Let me know in the comments below because I'd love to hear from you. Once again, I'm AJ from Homeschooler Goes Public and I'll see you later. Bye. Blooper. I like to call it coronacation. No, goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you. Never mind. So these 100 things Quarantine, you can be the king of karaoke. Learn about lighting, whether it's for learn about lighting is learning to make the best physical aspect rather than of an awkward date scene. I mean, I was flirting with myself.